Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about some of the critical technical details about option trading, right? So we talked about what is call, what is pull, put, how different strike price and expiry dates are impacts the potential profit from option trading. What is called put, in my previous videos. So if you want to learn about those, you can go to the previous videos of mine, or you can find out a lot of details in the YouTube video. There are a lot of good videos in the YouTube that from where I'm learning. So you can go and understand what is call and put in option trading. But today I'm going to talk about first of all, what does it mean by at the money, out of the money, and in the money for option price. And also I'm going to talk about what is the impact of Greeks in option. So option has different variables that impacts the option price movement. And chance probability of making profits and how much profit can be made depends on those variables, and those variables are good indicators. So I'm going to go over with that. So first of all, before I talk about at the money or in out of the money and in the money, let's talk about the intrinsic value of the option trading, right? So intrinsic value of the option trading is the market value of the stock right now, which is underlying the option that you are buying or selling, minus the strike price that you chose for that trading, right? So let's say I chose Apple stock option, and I bought a call at price $100, but the Apple stock is now trading at 103, right? So after I purchase, or after some days, or few days, whatever it is, stock price is now 103. So my strike price is $100. So the intrinsic value of that option trading is 103 minus 100. So current price right now at 103, my strike price was 100. So $3, the difference is $3. $3 is the intrinsic value of that option trade. And similarly, the extrinsic value of the option is that whatever left from the premium. So let's say I paid $5 premium for buying that call to have the right to purchase Apple stock at $100. So the extrinsic value is the premium minus the intrinsic value. So intrinsic value was $3. Extrinsic value is $5, which is premium, minus the $3, which is the intrinsic value, is equal to $2. Now, in this case, if the market value and the strike price is equal, right? So if the market value is also $100 and your strike price is $100, you see the intrinsic value is zero, right? So market price minus strike price would be zero, because both are $100. In this case, it is called at the money. So now your option trading is at the money, because the market value of the Apple stock, of each one Apple stock, and your strike price is same. So that would be called at the money. Sometimes it's abbreviated as ATM, right? So if you hear any of the website, or kind of like internet or YouTube video, they're talking about ATM. ATM means the strike price and market value is right now exactly same. There is no intrinsic value, and the full premium is equal to the extrinsic value. So that would be at the money. Similarly, in the money means when the intrinsic value is positive, means like your stock price current market value is more than your strike price for when you bought a call, and your stock price is 103, and your intrinsic value is $3, which means $3 is your profit, right? So you have a right to buy Apple stock at $100 when you bought the call. Now market price is 103, which is good, because we are already making $3 profit on each stock of Apple. So basically, intrinsic value is greater than zero. The option trading is now in the money. So it is in your favor, whoever bought the call. And similarly, if could be out of the money if the stock price is below your strike price. So basically, intrinsic value is now negative, and a lot of extrinsic value is going up, right? So premium plus intrinsic value. So in this case, what will happen is that you will be out of the money, because the call will expire worthless. You're not going to purchase stock at $100 when the stock price in the market is below $100. And it will be out of the money. So out of the money is not good for if you're buying the call, right? So if you see that if you bought the call and stock price move up than your strike price for call purchase, it is good, because now it is getting more in the money, called deep in the money. So the more stock price goes up, it's a bullish strategy. You are making profit, so you are getting more and more intrinsic value on the stock, right? Similarly, long put, this is not good, because if price goes up, long put means you're buying a put, you want stock price to go down, it's a bearish strategy, and the stock price goes up, and you are getting more and more intrinsic value. It is not good. So it is less important, it's actually negative for you. Similarly, stock price move below strike price for long call, it's not good. It's negative. And for long put, it's good because you want stock price to go down because you've got a right to sell the stock at a higher price, right? That's all about buying a put. And at the same time, talked about expiry date. Expiry date is the less time available for to expire between the time that you purchase the stock and expiry date you chose, which is a week to like month or 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever time you choose. The more time you have, it's good for your long because you have room or days to stock price to keep going up. But if it is closing, going to the expiry, you have a less, it's not in your favor. So basically, the time to expiry, it's not in your favor. The more days goes close to the expiry, it is going against you. Similarly, for long put, is the same thing. The more days you are closer to the expiry date, you're less chance that stock will keep going down, right? So it is going always against you. So long call, long put, theta, which is I'll talk later, but those are like defined time to expiry is against you all the time. Another critical variable that impacts pricing movement in the underlying stock, which actually impacts the option price, which is also like an anticipated events, which could be earning. So the earning is good for long call. Maybe the earning is good, and stock price goes up. After the earning, because maybe a lot of people sold those stock, take the stock price down. For anticipating earning can go bad, but if earning goes up, stock price can again go up, and you can earn more profit because you are now having more intrinsic value on the stock. Similarly, long put is same. If earning is bad, stock price goes down, your long put would be more valuable, right? So that's about in the money, out of the money, and at the money. Most of the time when you are buying call, you look for in the money. So your market value of the stock price is above your strike price, and when you are buying put, you want the opposite. You want that market price is lower than your strike price, so that you have a right to sell at the higher price than the market value. And market value keeps going down, you make more and more profit on the difference, right? So delta, so there are three Greeks mostly important and mostly impact how your option trading should be. And the most, the Greek is called delta, right? So what is delta measures? Delta measures the underlying stock movement, how that stock movement, price movement of that stock, how impacts the premium, right? So basically what is happening is that you bought an Apple stock or Google stock, the $1 movement of that stock in either directions, how much your premium is going to change, that is defined by the delta. So for example, if Apple stock, you bought a strike price as $100, and now Apple stock it went up and become $101, your premium that you paid for buying that call might go up a little, maybe 0.1, like 1 cent or something, or 10 cent or something like that. Maybe it's $5 now, it's $5.10. So basically for $1 change, that's what the change is happening. So basically in this case, 10% is the delta value, right? So it's called like positive 0.1 will be the delta value, right? So why we talking about delta value? Because the delta value is important, because now you see that how to choose delta value for option trading. So when you are choosing a strike price and expiry date, which are the two most important variable for selecting a particular option trade and execute on that, you always need to see what is the delta. And delta, as it is determining the change of premium on the depending on this underlying stock movement on positive side or negative side. Maybe Apple stock is now $99 and the premium went down. So this is kind of showing you the, giving the underlying volatility of the market, right? So it's kind of measuring of the implied volatility, that's called. So how the stock price is changing in both directions, delta measures that. And you need to be very careful about choosing the right delta for when you are buying or selling a call option or put options, right? So this is very important. So for example, if you buy a call at 35 and $5 premium that you paid, and the stock price, it's a bullish strategy, because you're buying call, you want stock price to go up, your delta will be positive, right? So delta is positive, the value of delta goes up. It's good because more and more stock price is going up, so your delta is increasing. The more delta is increasing for buying a call strategy, which is bullish strategy, is good. In opposite directions, like when a bearish strategy, like, for example, you're selling a call or buying a put, those are like a bearish strategy. Negative delta is better, and the negative value as negative value goes up, becomes more and more negative. It's good for your strategy because you're then making more profit on that stock. So you need to be very careful. And there is like thumb rule, like what is the kind of, everybody believes that what is the right delta for selling a call or buying a call, and we will get into those things. Those are very important topic, but we'll get into that in another call. But right now, let's understand what is delta. Delta measures underlying volatility of the underlying stock. It changes based on the $1 movement of the stock price on the positive side or the negative side, and that is what the delta signifies. And delta is very important, the most important Greek for choosing an option strategy. And we'll see some of the best practice for choosing the right delta for that, right? So the more stock moves in the money, the value of delta increases for by buying the call, and that's how it's favored, in favor of you who bought the call. Then for long put, the more negative it becomes, it's favoring the whoever bought the call. Similarly, the more stock moving out of the money, the value of delta decreases, and it's not favor in the favor of buyer of the call, but it's in the favoring of the seller of the call. Always remember, when it's favoring the buyer of the call, it's not favoring the seller of the call, and vice versa, right? That's how it works, because always there is a buyer and a seller in opposite directions, looking at the market and betting on it, right? That's how options trading, and that's also about stock trading, right? So higher delta has more chance to expire in the money, and not good for the covered call seller of the covered call. For buyer of the call is good. If you're buying call, you want delta to go up, you want stock price to go up, and you can make more money when you actually execute on that call. So let's say Shopify is this example of a stock. Current price is in the money, and it is $31.73. You have an $19.50 call. That means is that you are already in the money, because your strike price is much less than the current market value, and you have a lot of intrinsic value of the on the option, right? So 31.73 minus 19.50 would be your so that would be $12.23. $12.23 will be your intrinsic value, as you see here. And that's good, because you want more intrinsic value, you want higher delta value. And look at that, delta value is almost close to 96, like 0.96, right? So 96%, but basically delta value moves always between -1 to +1, because of the standard deviation and bell curve and all that. But that's in underlying math, which is we are not going to go ahead here. But the more higher value of delta close to +1 is good for buyer of the call. And in this sense, you see that you are already making $12.23 profit, right? So that is very good, and intrinsic value is less, because in this case, probably you already see you already made kind of like more than 90% profit, right? You have premium $12.43, you are now intrinsic value $12.23. So you probably sell the call or close that transaction, because you made 90% more profit and all that, right? So you'll get into those when to roll call, or when to execute on the call, or when to close the call and all that, right? So similarly, current price at the money, right? So at the money is $32. So basically, whatever the strike price is equal to the current market price, delta will be at that case close to 0.5, right? So it will be in the center, and it will be in between 0 and 1. So 0.5 will be the delta value when it is at the money. So at the money means strike price and market price are close or very similar, same value. In this case, your intrinsic will be 0, because your market price minus strike price is 0, because strike price and market price pretty close to each other. And they get whole premium will be extrinsic value, right? So this is not something it favors the buyer of the collar. This is not even big favor for the seller of the collar. And out of the money is something that you don't want, where is the the current stock price is below your strike price, and you see the delta value is very low, it's 0.29, 0.29, and your current price is out of the money, means it's much below your stock price. So if you bought the call, this is a good idea. This is a bad situation. You might have to close that, or lose your premium by expiring that call that you bought. So this is kind of like what is delta does, into a kind of like if indicator of implied volatility of underlying stock that has impact on how much money you can make by swinging the delta in both directions, right? If you are to think about the simple case, if you bought a call, you want stock price to go up, you want delta to go up, and you want to say, you know what, for $1 of underlying stock, I want like premium to go up, and you can make a lot of money because you are selling at a higher price from the strike price that you chose. And opposite is out of the money. Out of the money, see, delta is very low. So when you are buying the call, you might want to choose in the money call where your delta is very high, right? So if you want to buy, like, you don't want to decide like which strike price I'll choose, what expiry date you choose, you go and see the delta value. So for buying a call, delta value should be higher, closer to 1. For selling, for buying a put, it would be opposite. So you want delta value to be very low. You want out of the money so that you can make that difference as a profit to yours, right? So that's how the delta and this impacts the decision making for choosing the strike price and expiry date. As I said again and again, that choosing the right strike price and expiry dates is very important. It makes and break of how much profit you can make, or even if you get into loss or not. Those two are very critical things. So be careful about choosing those when you are buying and selling option. Thank you very much.